Ladies and gentlemen, Kim here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is down about 1% there. On the S&P Nasdaq down about 2%, along with the semiconductor Dow held up a little better. Russell 2000 down 1.5%. Transport got hit 3% negative. Banks down. Energy up. Biotech flat. Healthcare is up about 1.5% on this red day. Home goods down 2.3%. Utilities, another sector with the green prints, 2% positive for utility sector today. Retail down about 2%. Emerging market also. Bitcoin down. Gold, silver, miners, these guys are slightly up. Dollar flat. Oil down. Treasury bond down. VIX popped a little bit. Let's do with S&P 500 ETF. Spider. 65-minute chart. Here's so this is where we closed yesterday, and this is where we opened up this morning. And so we did see that down gap this morning. It looks like we continue lower on that first hour, hang around, and there's some fluctuations there on that fifth and sixth hour. You might ask, why though did we have that fluctuation? Well, keep in mind, there was that little troops of buyers in that vicinity, right? You can see that up gap was opened up back in, let's see here, March 24th. And finally, bears were able to bring it down to fill that down up gap today. And once that up gap was filled, it acted as instant support. Bulls trying to kind of gather that energy to start fighting back. However, we have a much bigger down gap from this morning. And so we have two high wave spinning top candles telling us there's indecision right now. But overall though, because this down gap still open going into tomorrow, and my short term and the micro term is favoring and supporting the bears as of today. If the bulls want to change this sentiment as quickly as possible, is if they can gap it up above, let's see here, about 450, 190 or so. That will be probably the only way, and turn this into a island bottom reversal. I don't know the last time we've seen any kind of island reversal gaps, and I'm not sure, if we actually gonna see something like that. And so that's what probably the short-term bulls are looking for going into tomorrow, right? If you wanna see this market changing the sentiment back to bullish. We also talked about the fact that this down gap right here is the one last chance for the bears. We talked about that when the bulls parked right up front, front door of the headquarters of the bears, because the big boss bears hanging around, right? So once this down gap wasn't filled, you can see it never got filled. Well, bears start coming in pretty hot, start shooting all the buyers. And on top of that, now we have another branch here for the bears. Troops have moved into this vicinity now. So if bulls can't fill this down gap that was opened up this morning or gap it over as quickly as possible, we will see lower prices. So let's talk about some of the potential important levels going into tomorrow. So first of all, as you can see, my good news is that as far as overall midterm trend is concerned, you can see my midterm moving average, it is no longer declining. It appears to be slightly rising here. So that might be telling us that overall the midterm, possibly long-term midterm sentiment is shifting back to bullish, right? We can't confirm that as of today. Again, big bears, the boss bears ain't going nowhere. until this down gap that was opened up back in January. This down gap is failed. And I've been talking about this for months now, right? And you can see how even with the recent decline, you can totally see that boss bears are not happy that bulls were able to bring this all the way up, in that process killing all the little bear troops, right? So now that this down gap is open, we see that boss bears created these little bear troops, and they're residing in this vicinity, and they're ready to attack back and even more. So if we lose 443 tomorrow, it looks like 438 is where the bears are headed next. They want to gather more of that real estate that they've lost from this bull's attack, right? But 438 is pretty strong support, I might add, because remember that midterm moving average, the pink dotted moving average, you can see right here, acted as resistance. Right here, resistance. Right here, resistance. Right here, resistance. All those times, this market tanked. And now, if the bears bring this down to 438, guess what? We do have my midterm moving average residing in that vicinity, 438, 437. And I reckon that level is going to provide strong support, because I think bulls have reclaimed that midterm, turning that midterm its functionality to support the bulls. And obviously we will know until we get there. And let's see if we can extract any more information from the oscillator. So you can see the oscillator. We also talked about the weakness of the bulls, where they were not even able to bring all the way to the top of this resistance, or at least near the resistance. We actually just crossed down, not even able to get to the resistance level, and that shows us weakness, which we talked about yesterday. And with that, bears smelled that weakness, brought it down at open, gapping it down. But we held, most of the day today because there was a down gap, or that up gap that was in that vicinity. But now, looking at this right here, here's one thing we have to worry about if you're a bear, is that if this thing actually cross up, let's say let's just say, and this is the miracle that what the buyers are looking for. Let's say we gap up, some sort of miracle gap, and this thing crosses back up. That will be bullish divergence. However, we can't confirm that yet because we don't see anything like that. As of today, the oscillator hasn't crossed yet. We're still in this falling mode, which means going into tomorrow, especially the fact that this down gap from this morning is open, my micro-term, my short-term moving averages are now supporting the bears. So these bear troops are ready to come down, start shooting, killing more bulls. And on top of that, this oscillator is not oversold at all. We have, if bears so choose to utilize this, they have the energy left. They can bring it down another. They're gonna come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening and good trading tomorrow.